Welcome back, everyone. BGF Podcast is episode number 7, and today we got a little ranking system going, and we're going to go over the QBs, but we also got a few news and rumors around the league that we want to get into. First one, DeAndre Hopkins getting cut by the Arizona Cardinals.
Where do you think he's going to end up?
I don't know. I think the move was inevitable. He just didn't want to play there. They didn't want to pay him. It was just going to happen. Now they're eating, I think, 25 on the cap, which is crazy. But
I think it was 20 because he was supposed to make 30 this year. Or actually, maybe it is 25, yeah.
I don't know. I know it's a lot of money for no receiver.
And no team was going to really trade for that contract.
Yeah, I know. But the thing is, the Cardinals are definitely rebuilding. I don't see them making a push anytime soon.
Yeah, they're definitely going to be getting probably the number one pick. They're definitely the favorites right now to get Caleb Williams.
And replace Kyler. But yeah, no, I do think D-Hop is going to land on a powerhouse. I think he might go to the Chiefs.
I think that would be the best fit because right now they don't have really an outstanding number one. Like you'd say,
Kadarius
Toney is really the number one right now. Kelsey's obviously the number one target no matter who ends up there. But that would be a really good move and would definitely put them back as the favorites.
What about the Bills? Do you see that happening? Like D-Hop to the Bills?
Yeah, that's definitely a possibility. I would say that's the second best. Like those are in the tier of their own, the Chiefs and the Bills. If they get him, there's no excuses now for Josh Allen. He's got to get the job done.
The thing is, Stephon Diggs going to want to play next to someone like D-Hop. The man's targets.
I actually saw a report that Stephon Diggs wouldn't rule out a return to the Vikings. For how much shit he's talked about them since he's left.
I don't want him. Get him out of there. I think Jordan Addison's going to be better than him this year.
It's over. So you're telling me when we do our receiver rankings, you're going to have Jordan Addison over Stephon Diggs? I'm actually very intrigued to see where you're going to have Jordan Addison.
I'm going to have him high just because I do think we have a high-powered offense, and I think Kirk Cousins is going to just sling the rock, and he's going to get his targets.
Well, how many yards we'll probably get into it, but Kirk Cousins, what are you projecting on the yards?
I'm honestly projecting something similar to this season, over 4,000 for sure.
Yeah.
35-plus touchdowns. I think he is absolutely slinging it this year.
How many did he have last year? How many TDs?
I don't remember if it was 30. I think it was... Yeah, it was 29. So 29 touchdowns and 14 picks. I mean, whatever. It wasn't too great, but I think he's hitting 35 this year. I think he's going to absolutely destroy it this season.
Just hearing 35 touchdowns, man, that's a lot to ask from a guy like
It is a lot to ask for, but I mean, if you think about it, we added Jordan Addison, TJ Hawk for a full season, not half. It's going to be interesting. I'm really excited to start the season.
It's not Irv Smith to start the season.
No, it's not. It's the Hawk.
That's, yeah. There's no other news really. We have the Jimmy G news to report there that he failed his physical back in March.
I mean, is he coming back to the Niners? That's the real question.
Nah, I don't think it's as serious as like these outlets are making it out right now. There's not really much news to talk about, so I think they're making it more of a story than it really is.
Yeah, and then they're mentioning Tom Brady return. I mean, I just don't see it.
Brian Hoyer, he's always been in those New England type systems with McDaniels, so I think they probably had an idea this was going to happen, and I'm guessing Raiders fans don't want to see Brian Hoyer under center to start the year.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, but I think it'll be good to start the season, and they'll be
think so. I think we're just overreacting a little. Yeah. I mean, he is injury prone, I won't lie, but
very.
It still is May. He still has like 3 months to get ready, so he'll be ready in time. I think Jimmy G is going to be starting week 1.
Because he got injured in what? It was like week 9, 8.
Around halfway, yeah. Because that's when Brock came in. I think Brock played 8 games. Could it be?
Yeah, he did play. Yeah, he did play 8. Yeah.
So week 10 he got hurt. Not week 10. Sorry, around week 10 with the bye.
Yeah, it was in the Miami. Yeah, the Miami game he got injured.
Anyways.
Yeah, it's because now he got the surgery in March, so it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of weird the way that.
I hate when, I mean, I don't know if they really have a choice, like if he hired a private or if he did a public system. I don't know the wait times and all that, but I feel like NFL players usually, if they want to get it healed, they'll go get surgery right away.
Yeah.
I don't know why he waited so long.
No, but I think he did get a surgery like as soon as the injury happened.
Oh, this was a second.
Yeah, now he got a second.
Wow.
I don't know. It is really concerning with Jimmy because he's really had a lot of issues.
That's not good. I didn't know he had 2 surgeries. That's not good.
On his feet so I don't know. That's probably why we said his contract was a good value at the time. That's probably why, because of all the injury stuff.
Plus, I think if he does fail his physical and he's not ready, I think they just cut him and they don't have to pay him anything.
Yeah,
I think there was a clause in his contract for that. I'm not. I could be wrong with that, but I believe I read that if they do cut him, there's no penalty on the Raiders.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, smart on their part, just because of the injuries. But I mean, I hope he plays. I hope we do get to see him under the Raiders. Maybe he's another Hall of Famer, like Devontae Adams says. Who knows? But anyways, yeah, guys, today we decided do a little QB ranking system heading into the 2023 season. As you know, it's the off season. There's not much news and rumors to report at the moment. Free agency happened, draft happened. So why not start the ranking system? We're going to do some QB rankings. We might get into the receiving core, defensive units, whatever it may be. We also want to get into some fantasy stuff.
Yeah.
Let us know what you guys think about that in the comments down below.
If you are interested in joining some mock drafts that we're going to do for live streams later on, let us know, and we'll definitely have fans of the channel in on that.
Just don't forget, follow us on Twitter, BGF Pod. Come on, boys.
Get us to 300 followers.
Let's go.
So yeah, let's start off the list. We're going to go, for the top 10, we're going to go one by one. So we're going to start off at number 1. I think this isn't really much of a debate. The best guy.
It's a consensus one.
LeBron James of the NFL. Patrick Mahomes at number 1.
Yeah, I don't think there's much debate here. He just came off with one of his, I think his best statistical season of his career without a wide receiver 1. He lost Tyreek Hill and did this. Won a Super Bowl. It's the second already in his short career. There's not much debate here. I just think he's going to be a star. He's going to continue to dominate. Very long time.
What I find funny is the beginning of last season, it was actually a debate between him and Josh Allen. I think, even last year, I wasn't really buying into that. Everything that Mahomes has done in his career, you can't really discredit him. I think he's by far in a tier of his own right now in terms of NFL quarterback.
I do. I think if there were like an S tier, he would be the only one in the S tier. There'd be a couple people in the A tier, but Mahomes is just elite, and compared to everyone else, there's no comparison.
Now, for number 2, here's where we might have some disagreement. This is where the list starts to get a bit more
a little more juicy. We do have it's not as consensus as our usual list, so that's a good start.
At number 2, I got Joe Burrow.
Yeah, I got Jalen Hurts coming at number 2.
What's your reasoning to have him over Joe Burrow?
I mean, the thing is with the Eagles, I mean, last year they made it to the Super Bowl. I think they have a very good chance of repeating that just because of the addition they made to that defense. Even though they lost some pieces, they drafted phenomenally. That offense stayed similar. Kelsey's back for another year, so he has a center. And I just think he's going to dominate once again. I mean, last season he threw for 3,700 yards, 22 touchdowns, 6 picks. That's great, but then he also had 760 on the ground for 13 touchdowns. That's elite. I mean, that's elite numbers. So in all, if you add the 2, he had almost 4,500 yards, total yards. And on top of that, he had 35 touchdowns, which was really good. I just think the Eagles are going to dominate once again. He has Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown for another season. He has Dallas Goedert again on the lead tight end. And I don't see this guy slowing down. I think the Eagles pretty much stayed similar to how they were last year. Barring any injuries, I think he's going to continue to dominate and be a number 2. But I do understand why you have Joe Burrow at number 2. I'm not arguing that. I can see that happening.
Yeah, from what I see from your explanation, you see this more as like a looking forward into next season, more of a future thing.
Yeah.
For me, I have Joe Burrow ahead of him just because of what he's done. He's done it for more seasons. Like I feel like Jalen Hurts, he did it this year. Let's see now if he can repeat it again. He still has the same weapons, good offense. I'd expect him. Like I have Jalen Hurts very close here.
Yeah.
So I think it is close. I don't see a problem having Jalen Hurts ahead. I just think Joe Burrow, he's done it in the playoffs. He's done it in the regular season. And I think I'll have him over Jalen Hurts for right now.
Look, I don't disagree with you. I can understand why you put Joe Burrow ahead. I just, going into this season, I do think Jalen Hurts is going to be more elite. I think he's going to command more touchdowns and just get more yards through the air and in the ground.
As well as team's probably going to be better than Cincinnati.
Yeah.
So I could see
the defense is going to be elite. He's going to be on the field more and. That's just it. That is what it is. But at number 3, who do you got? I think we just flipped.
Yeah, I got Jalen Hurts at 3. You got Joe Burrow.
I got Joe Burrow at 3. We went into that, so I mean
nothing too crazy right now in terms of nothing too bold.
Nothing too bold.
At number 4, I got Josh Allen from the Buffalo Bills.
This is where I get a little bold here. I got Lamar Jackson at number 4.
Yeah, see, that's one thing with Lamar. Like, I want to put him ahead here of Josh Allen, but I just can't because he hasn't been on the field enough like in recent years because of the injuries, to really have him over Josh Allen.
Let me just read you a little stat here.
What?
12 games played, 2,200 yards in the air, 764 on the ground.
Yeah, we know what he could do.
Threw for 20 touchdowns and 7 picks.
No, I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback. Like,
12 games, right? 7 games. Sorry, not 7. My God, I can't think. 5 games less than everyone else. Never had a wide receiver. Last year, they got absolutely decapitated. All the receivers got hurt, I think, very early on. It was hilarious. Mark Andrews, once again, elite tight end. But now you got Odell and Zay Flowers.
Yeah. Because when I did my list, I more based it on, like, if I'm starting a franchise right now, who am I taking between these guys? Just if I was starting a franchise, I'd be more comfortable with Allen just because I know he could definitely stay on the field. And as well, like, I know everyone has a sour taste in their mouth on Josh Allen because of the way things ended last season.
Yeah.
And I think you can't really forget how, like, I'm someone who also felt like Josh Allen was overrated for much of last season. But I think you can't forget what he did and everything as well he can do on the ground at his size. I think
Josh Allen is elite. I mean, I don't disagree with you here. It's just, I don't know, personal preference or whatever it may be. I do think Lamar Jackson next season will dominate.
Yeah, I'm excited. I also think he's really, well, I say dark horse. It's not really a dark horse, but I think he'd be my favorite for MVP going into this year. Him, Hurts, those are probably my two.
I'm excited to see Lamar with an actual receiver under his, like, in his helm. Like, he's never had that before.
Mm-hmm.
And just, I wish nothing but the best for the guy. He hasn't had it easy. Definitely hasn't had it easy. He finally got his contract.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe, who knows? He added a receiver. I mean, we're going to see, really, if Lamar can actually throw the ball. Like
maybe we'll add another receiver. Maybe DeAndre Hopkins can.
Maybe. Who knows? He's going to have like 4 receivers starting the year. It's going to be crazy.
Yep. Next, at number 5, well, we were just talking about him. I got Lamar at number 5.
I got, here's going to shock a few people. I got Trevor Lawrence at number 5.
You know what? It's not crazy. Huh?
I mean,
I can't say I got him far behind.
Just looking at his production last season, 4,100 yards, 25 touchdowns, 8 picks, 295 on the ground, and 5 on the ground as well. That's elite production for a guy who didn't really have an elite wide receiver 1. This year, we add Calvin Ridley to the mix. So Trevor Lawrence is just going to continue to, get better and improve. He's still 23 years old, I believe, 24.
You see how young these guys are, man.
It's crazy. I mean, compare this to 10 years ago. The list is just night and day. 10 years ago, you had the veterans on top. Now you have the not rookies, but the young guys up top and the veterans at the bottom.
You're used to seeing the Tom Brady's, the Aaron Rodgers, Phillip Rivers. It's been a
while.
But
Russell Wilson
as well. Yeah, Russell Wilson is very low. Matt Stafford as well.
Yeah,
these guys are very low down the list now.
I don't know. I just think Trevor Lawrence next season is going to absolutely dominate with Calvin Ridley. I mean, guy made Zay Jones look like a stud. Nothing against Zay Jones.
Yeah, Christian Kirk as well.
Christian Kirk too, but nothing against these guys. It's just, when you think of elite wide receivers, you don't really think of these guys.
Yeah. Calvin Ridley, you do though. So
yeah,
it's going to be very interesting to see his progression.
I'm excited to see the Jags this season. I do think they're going to be a dark horse to I think they're definitely taking their division.
Yeah, that division doesn't have much.
But I wouldn't be surprised if they dominate as well. Go 12-5.
They could win all those divisional games. Obviously it's tough to sweep a division, but if there's any team that could do it in a weak division like that, I think.
I think for whatever reason they always split with Houston. I don't know why.
And Houston is going to be a lot better this year.
Houston is going to be improved. I don't think they're going to be crazy good.
They don't have their first, so they better be.
Yeah, that's true. But 5, you got Lamar.
Yeah, I got Lamar. There's not much really to be said here. I think. You also had Lamar over Trevor Lawrence. You had Trevor Lawrence over Josh Allen.
I had Trevor Lawrence. I still haven't mentioned Josh Allen.
I can't get there. I think maybe going into next season, if Allen struggles again, and Trevor Lawrence can. I definitely think Trevor Lawrence can have a better year than he did this year. So I could see that maybe, but for right now, because yours is more projecting the mine is.
Yeah.
So that's tough though. Anyway, number 6, I got who you just mentioned, Trevor Lawrence. I
got Josh Allen here sitting at number 6, so dropping 2 spots from where you had him.
Because last year, if you were making this list, you would have Josh Allen at number 2?
If I was, I don't know. I think I would have had him at 4.
I think that's a lot of hindsight, man. I think that's.
I don't know. It's just the picks in the red zone. They're killer, man.
No, I agree with that, but it's
they're
I don't
killer.
think that's enough to drop them, considering that I'm going to look up his stats right now.
I mean, look, I have them right here. He threw 4,300 yards, 35 touchdowns, 14 picks, 762 on the ground, and 7 touchdowns. It's elite production, I won't lie. It's just those picks came in the red zone.
Yeah.
That's what's killer. Like, you had a touchdown, you drove down the field, you got your yards. It's just like you throw that pick in the red zone, it just kills the whole offense, kills all momentum.
Feels like he does get like a bit cocky when he gets in the.
He does. He gets cocky. He has a great team around him. I love Josh Allen. I think he's an elite quarterback. He's just got to control those picks. Got to be a little more composed in the pocket. Make those reads. He's improved tremendously from when he came into the league. It's been insane. I just hope he continues to improve and get better. But then again, I wouldn't be surprised if Josh Allen is top 2 end of the season.
Yeah, he's got that type of talent.
Like anyone in the top 6, I wouldn't be surprised if they move around. I do think Pat Mahomes is going to stay at 1, though. I won't lie.
Yeah, I think any of these guys in the top 6, 7 really could all win like MVP. These guys could easily move up to. I don't think they can move up to 1 there, but they could all move up to number 2.
Yeah, at least be the runner-up, you know.
Mm-hmm. So for me, number 7. This is where I think. Well, we don't have much of a debate, but I think the public would debate. Justin Herbert at 7. I think you also have him at. Oh wow, you got Aaron Rodgers at 7.
I got Aaron Rodgers at 7.
As someone who, for you, that doesn't really like Aaron Rodgers, I'm very surprised that you actually have him. Especially coming off the season he came off, where this was definitely his worst season in a very long time.
This was tough, but the only reason I have him at 7 is because I really, really like that Jets team. Yeah. And I do think with Aaron Rodgers, it is a huge improvement over Zach Wilson and Mike White. No offense to any of them. I just think Aaron Rodgers is going to be the quarterback to lead that offense. He's got his OC, so he's feeling happy, he's comfortable. And last season was his worst statistical season of his career, but he did throw for 3,700 yards, 26 touchdowns, 12 picks. 94 on the ground and 1 touchdown. It's nothing great on the ground, but Aaron Rodgers is the pocket quarterback. This year, you add Garrett Wilson, who we didn't have. Remember, last season lost Devontae Adams. Replaced it with Garrett Wilson. He brought in Alan Lazard.
Same as last
year. He brought in his boy Randall Cobb just for the confidence.
Yeah, I don't think he's really.
I don't think he's gonna do much, but still, Garrett Wilson this season, I think, can explode and become a tremendous wide receiver, especially in fantasy. He's gonna be an elite guy. I would draft him high.
I definitely think he could jump into that Chase Jefferson range, to be honest.
Whoa. Jefferson's in a class.
No, but I'm saying, in a dynasty perspective, I think he could be in, like, probably not Jefferson, but
no, Chase. I hear you. That's second tier.
Yeah.
For sure. I don't know. I like Aaron Rodgers. I like their run game a lot. I like Breece Hall a lot. Aaron Rodgers controlled the offense, giving it to Breece Hall. He has Garrett Wilson over its top. Alan Lazard as a 2, maybe Corey Davis in the slot. I don't know who they're going to run there.
No, I'm not too sure, but anyway, for mine, on Justin Herbert, I think he should definitely be higher with the talent that he's got. I just think he gets, like, especially off the media, he gets an easy time for not really producing in the playoffs. Like a guy like Lamar Jackson, he gets big time heat for not making it past the second round.
Yeah.
I think for me, Justin Herbert's going to have to start producing, and all these excuses with not having his receivers, not having this, not having that. Like, he's got weapons, huh? He's got Keenan Allen. Hopefully he could stay healthy. Mike Williams. These guys,
same thing. Hopefully
these guys are always injury prone, but, like, still. Now you got Quentin Johnson. You still always have Austin Eckler. Like, this is a really good Gerald Everett's really good offense. Like, there's no more excuses for him, I think.
And their defense is not bad either, right?
I don't know. I'm not really a big fan of that defense. I feel like it's just a lot of, like, big names that are really, like, past it.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but I don't think it's bad by any stretch. It'll be able to get them off the field.
Yeah, I think now it's time. Like, Trevor Lawrence had a worse roster this year and was still able to go further in the playoffs and almost beat the Super Bowl champion.
Yeah, he made the Chiefs. I think he lost in overtime. Did he? Or was it?
It was definitely a one-score game.
It was a one-score. I remember watching that game. It was crazy.
So yeah. Trevor Lawrence was able to do that with a much lesser roster, so Justin Herbert has to start doing something and surprising us, because or else, like, he won't jump up this list where he should be higher. He should be higher than right now than a Trevor Lawrence, Lamar Jackson. Yeah. So yeah.
I would have to agree with you. I have him right here ranked at 8th. I have him right behind Aaron Rodgers, and if you look at the stats last season, 4,700 yards. That's not easy, but he only threw 25 touchdowns. That's not great.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's the same as Trevor.
Literally, more or less. But then you look at a guy like Pat Mahomes, threw for I think, maybe 500 yards more through an extra 16 touchdowns.
That's crazy. That's actually crazy.
Like, it's you need to be on that. Like, you need to have at least 30 touchdowns when you throw for that many yards.
Yeah.
I mean, 25 is not bad. He still won 25 and 10. That's a good ratio, but like you said, with all those weapons, there's no excuse. Like, you should be throwing more touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
Your offense needs to be more dominant than what it was.
Yeah, well, I do see the excuse with the receivers, but like, because it was really throwing to like Josh Palmer and DeAndre Carter in this season.
Look at Trevor Lawrence.
that could really attribute to the touchdowns being low. But still, I want to see better than.
I think he is better than that. I think he could be elite quarterback, like on the same level as Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson. He should be there.
Because going into last season, he was higher in people's perspective.
Yeah, he was higher ranked
than Joe Burrow. Like, he was with the Josh Allens and Patrick Mahomes. Like, especially in fantasy, I remember people were taking Justin Herbert over Patrick Mahomes, which I never really understood like that.
I never understood.
That's one thing with these younger quarterbacks, man. Once they come on the scene and they produce pretty decently, the hype gets out of hand, man. Like, yeah, I never really agreed with all this Herbert hype. I still want to see more. And I think this ends off the, like, I think from about Burrow to Herbert, this is like a tier. Obviously, a guy like Burrow is higher up in this tier, but I think now is where you're gonna start seeing a drop off in the quarterback names. For me, at number 8. Wait, you did?
I did 8.
Oh, 8. Okay, mine was Aaron Rodgers. I didn't say it, but I think it was pretty.
Yeah, we're basically like flipping. It's pretty cool.
We have all the same names in the top 8. And now, at number 9, I've got Kyler Murray.
You got Kyler Murray.
Yeah, I know he's
okay.
Because mine is more on like what we've seen so far. Mine's not really a projection for next season.
Okay, no problem. Well, why do you have Kyler so high? What did he do last year that was so immaculate?
Look at the names below him, and like, in terms of last year when he played, he was solid. He's got the option with his legs. He's I think like I just can't put Kirk Cousins ahead of Kyler Murray. Dak, I can't put these guys ahead of him. When Kyler Murray was at his best, playing at his best, he was in these conversations with guys like Trevor and Herbert and all that. So, to me, now he's coming off the injury. His name's low on people's minds. The recency bias. I still think Kyler Murray is a top 10 quarterback in the NFL.
Okay, I'm gonna have to disagree with you there. I got Kirk Cousins coming in at number 9.
I can't like
coming off I think statistically his best season of his career, through 4,500 yards, 29 touchdowns, 14 picks. 97 on the ground, which is surprising, and 2 touchdowns on the ground as well, which is also surprising. I think Kirk Cousins is going to absolutely dominate. We mentioned this earlier. I just think Kirk Cousins is going to be elite this season. He's got Jordan Addison now playing alongside Justin Jefferson. So whenever you got Justin Jefferson being doubled, Jordan Addison on one side or TJ Hawkinson over in the middle, I think Kevin O'Connell is going to have an absolute blast running this offense. And we also got Brian Flores on the defensive side, so maybe the defense improves. Maybe gets us a few stops, gets the offense out there more often. I'm really excited to see this team play. I can't wait for the season to start. And I think Kirk Cousins is going to absolutely dominate. Wouldn't be surprised if he throws for 5,000 yards.
That's a big time.
I would not be surprised.
He's definitely got the weapons to be able to do it, but that is because Justin Jefferson has to get 2,000 yards for that.
I mean, he was 100-something off this season, so it's possible. I would not be surprised, honestly.
I would love for that to happen. Justin Jefferson getting 2K. My number. Well, we did my number 9. Number 10, I got same as you, Kirk Cousins here. At number 10. I think he is a class ahead of like a Dak and a Watson and guys I'm gonna say later.
Yeah.
I think with the weapons he has this year, I'm expecting as well a big year from him. And I have him in the top 10. It feels weird to see a guy like Kirk Cousins in the top 10.
He's good, you guys. He's good. It's not elite. That's the issue.
Mm-hmm.
But at number 10, I got a guy like Geno Smith.
Ooh, that's...
Listen to this.
I like Geno for that.
I love Geno, and I loved watching him play last year. I was so happy for the guy. 4,200 yards, 30 touchdowns, 11 picks. That's crazy, and he also ran for 366. That's an underrated stat right there.
I didn't realize it was that.
I didn't realize he ran that much. He basically had over 4,600 all-purpose yards, which is amazing. Plus, you add a guy like JSN in that receiving room, which was already elite. I think this guy is gonna dominate once again. He's gonna have a very productive season. very happy for Gino, and I just hope he continues to get his playing time. He got his big contract now, so good on Gino. Just get back out there and do your thing, buddy.
Yeah, I really like Gino, but I think it's a bit high to put him because this is his first year of actually producing like this, and plus we see these guys when they're older. He's what, now, like 32 years old. At this age, when they come out of the blue like that, I feel like it could be a one-season wonder, and this year he has a rough year. But he's got so many weapons now that it's going to be hard for him to not produce with guys like JSN, Lockett, and DK Metcalf.
I just feel like he's so composed. Like, you're watching the press conferences, and he's just like, he was so grateful for the opportunity. He's not taking it for granted. He's just composed, doing his thing, going to practice every day. Pete Carroll absolutely loves the guy.
Yeah. He's definitely like very easy to root for. He seems like he's a very down-to-earth guy. He's been through a lot, and you feel like you're happy for him, especially once he got that contract. I was super happy for him.
Yeah, good on Gino.
Mm-hmm. Now, number 11. This was another controversial. It shouldn't be controversial because how good he was before all the stuff around his name happened. Deshaun Watson at number 11.
You have him a little higher than I do.
When Watson was at his best, he was really in the conversation with guys like Mahomes, Brady at the time. And
he was carrying that horrendous Houston Texans team.
Like, he was dragging that team that terrible team to the playoffs. And it was with he had a shit offensive line.
Very bad.
You saw him running all over the place, making big-time plays. He was... Like, I know it's hard to... Like, obviously, I don't like anything that he's done in the past, whatever, but at the time before, he was one of my favorite quarterbacks to watch in the league. He was like electric.
He was very explosive, very electric. I can't deny his previous success. It's just after what I saw last season, I don't know. I don't see it.
Yeah, I was shocked. Like, I knew he would be rusty coming into last season, but I was very surprised on how bad he looked compared to like the like old Deshaun Watson. I think he's definitely like he can't get worse than last season. I think he's gonna get better. I think last year was just a lot of rust. That's the excuse.
And trust me, Cleveland is backing out him getting better because they're paying that man a lot of money.
They have no picks.
They have no picks.
A lot of money invested into him. That's why I also like Amari Cooper as well as like a fantasy option this year. I think Watson is going to be better this year. And I think that's going to help Amari Cooper plus Elijah Moore as well. Now he has a new weapon. It's not going to be Donovan Peoples-Jones is no longer his wide receiver too. So I think, he'll definitely improve this year, and I have him at 11.
Myself, I got Dak Prescott at 11. I don't like this pick. It's just that Dallas offense is good.
They're a pass-heavy offense.
They're a pass-heavy offense, and Dak only played 12 games last year, 2,800 yards, 18 touchdowns, 9 picks. Ratio wasn't as good as the year before, but who's surprised? 182 on the ground and 1 touchdown. Not a rushing quarterback, but he can move. He has that mobility. I just think Dak Prescott is going to produce if he's healthy, barring any injuries. You got CeeDee Lamb, you got Gallup, and they signed someone else. I'm blanking right now.
Brandon Cooks
on that offense, which is going to help. Obviously, spread the field a little more. You got Tony Pollard finally as the workhorse. I think he's going to have a elite season. Yeah, I can't wait to see that. He's going to be really, really good. So, yeah, I hate to say this, but I do think Dak is going to have a good, very productive season. And I have him ranked at 11.
Yeah, in past years, I definitely would have had Dak Prescott in the top 10. He was, like, especially since it's the major injury there.
The 2 years ago.
He isn't rushing as much as he used to. So that takes a big hit on his numbers rushing-wise. And plus, the way he ended the season this year with all those picks he was throwing, that definitely took a huge hit on his stock. But we know at his best he could be very good, but I think he's starting to hit the end of his prime now. I think Dallas is going to have to find a way to move off him.
I think the injury really hindered his career, which is unfortunate, but I mean, it's football. It happens to the best of them.
Like, you could see, he kind of has like a fear once he gets out of the pocket, and he's still thinking about that injury. Like, and it was super sad. And the fact that he actually still came back from that injury pretty quickly was like good to see. But yeah, I can't put him over the guys I have ahead of him. I just think like.
No problem.
Yeah.
I got. You want to hear what I got at 12?
Who do you got?
I got your boys. I got Brock Purdy or Trey Lance. Whoever gets the start down in San Fran. That's
the high praise you got for them.
I just honestly, I think the Niners are an elite team in the NFL, and whoever is on their helm, whether it be Brock Purdy or Trey Lance, is going to be very productive. Brock Purdy last season only played 8 games, 1,300 yards, 13 picks, 13 touchdowns, and 4 picks. That's an elite ratio. I do think Brock Purdy is very, very good with the football. Obviously, that first game didn't look too great, but it was his first game. But Brock Purdy, give him a full season, I do think he's going to be very, very productive. I can see him throwing for easily over 4,000 yards, especially with Shanahan controlling it. Trey Lance, on the other hand, I don't see him throwing as much, but I do see him rushing a lot more. Shanahan utilized that a lot last season. Unfortunately, he got hurt. He tore his ACL, and it wasn't fun. But I just think the Niners offense is elite. Whoever's at the helm is going to be very, very productive. That defense is elite. It's going to get them off the field quick. They're going to have more time on offense. And yeah, I got Brock Purdy, Trey Lance at 12. Whoever starts.
You didn't add Sam Darnold into the left.
I unfortunately didn't add Sam Darnold into the mix. I don't see him playing.
Yeah, for me, like I didn't put like combinations. Like I put them as two different guys, and I wanted to really put Brock Purdy higher. It's just with the sample size of 8 games.
Yeah, I get what
10 games with the playoffs. It was like I felt like I was getting a bit too premature in putting him this high. But I definitely believe.
You believe
a full season, if he does end up starting, or whoever ends up if Purdy does start, or if he would start anywhere else, I think he could definitely make an argument that he could be by next season like in the top 12, 11, 12, maybe 10.
Top 15. Yeah, you can make a case for the top 15.
Because if you think about it, he still has not lost a game in his NFL career. Because I don't count that Eagles game as a loss for him, because the guy went out after in the first quarter.
Yeah, one drive.
Yeah.
Not even a drive.
So he's still an undefeated quarterback and looked very, very good. So for me now, 13, a guy that you said earlier, Geno Smith.
You have a 12.
Oh, I said Dak.
It's all good.
So I got Dak at 12 now.
We flipped it again, yeah.
I got Geno. He had a very good season, but yeah, I think like you had him at what, 10?
I had him at 10, top 10, yeah.
I could definitely see that. Just I want to see another season of it before I start putting him over guys like Kirk Cousins, Deshaun Watson, Dak, who have done this.
Kirk Cousins is going to dominate.
No, but I'm saying over guys that have done this for like 5+ years. I want to see a bit more, especially at his age. And anyway, with the weapons he has, like I said earlier, he should have no problem in doing this again. So I got him at 13.
13 might shock a lot of you guys. I got Anthony Richardson here.
Because he's already not a polished quarterback, so...
I know, but my estimates for Anthony Richardson, this is very, very, very brief. I got 3,000 yards in the air, 20 touchdowns, 12 picks, but I got him absolutely killing it on the ground. I got 1,200 yards and 10 touchdowns on the ground. He's got a guy like Jonathan Taylor next to him, so he's going to be an absolute menace on that ground. That team, if run properly, can be elite. I do think out of the 3 quarterbacks that got drafted this season, he has the best team in front of him. He's got a wide receiver 1. He's got an elite running back. A decent O-line. It's not great, but it's decent. It can protect him. And now he's got a guy like Gardner Minshew as the veteran behind him. I do think Anthony Richardson is going to start week 1 unless the preseason goes absolutely horribly and he cannot throw a football. Then they might be in some hot waters, but I do think Anthony Richardson is going to surprise a lot of people this year.
Yeah, for me, as for the rookies, I kind of put them low because I haven't seen them play yet in the NFL. I wanted to be a bit conservative on those guys. And I think, honestly, with Richardson, that's one guy I have to disagree. I think he's going to be probably the worst out of the 3 quarterbacks.
No problem. We'll see after the year.
He didn't play much in college. I don't know how polished he really is as a thrower, especially. Like, I get he's got the best team out of these guys, but, like, is it really, like, Michael Pittman's very good. Like, I like Michael Pittman, but after that, too, Alec Pierce... There was someone else, Josh Downs. Like, it's all right. JT. For me, at number 14, I got Derek Carr.
Oh, that's interesting.
I know you're not a really big fan of Derek Carr, but he's always been like a very serviceable and good quarterback in the last like 5 to 10 years.
Not last season.
He wasn't. Okay, obviously Vegas wasn't a great team. He wasn't his best year, but before last year. He somehow made the Pro Bowl, actually. But the Pro Bowl's a different
story, yeah.
I think he's always been very serviceable. You could count on him, so I got him at 14. I think with New Orleans now, he's got guys like Olave. Hopefully, Michael Thomas can play more than 5-6 games.
My whole thing with Derek Carr is you couldn't do with Devontae Adams. You're not doing it with these guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
There's just, I don't see it. I mean, it could happen. I hope he does better than what he did. It's just, I don't see it.
What were his stats last year? 3,500 yards, 24 touchdowns, 14 picks. Yeah, it's a I didn't realize how bad his season was last year, but I still like Derek Carr though.
No, for sure. A guy I got at 14 that I wanted to put him higher. I don't know. I wasn't too sure about him. Was Jared Goff. Last season threw 4,400 yards, 29 touchdowns, 7 picks. I think he threw something like 4 picks in the first 4 weeks or something bad. And he just completely turned it around. He went on an insane stretch. Very conservative with the football. Very protective. Making the right reads. Threw for a boatload of yards. And I mean, this is the thing with Jared Goff is the consistency question. He hasn't been consistently good. He's shown little sparks of greatness and where he can be elite. He's just never been consistent with it. Even when he was back with the Rams, he had that one good rookie season. Mm-hmm. Then after that was just horrible and completely sucked. Went to Detroit, amazing season. See if he can continue that momentum. I hope he can. And I got him at 14. I think he's going to replicate what he did last season. Adding a guy later on in the year, coming off suspension, Jameson Williams, I think is going to help that offense, stretch the field a bit more. Amon-Ra is an absolute stud. Brock Wright, tight end, is going to be good.
Sam Laporte, I've seen a lot of good things out of the training camps and OTAs that they think he can make an instant impact as a pass catcher for them.
Who knows? Maybe. I hope. I mean, I like Detroit. I just feel bad for them. They've been bad for so long. Yeah. You want them to win.
I'm happy that Detroit actually stuck with him as their starting quarterback because
after
the season he had last year, he definitely deserves it. And I think all the pressure he's had being a number one pick, I think now, he's obviously not playing like a number one pick there, but seeing that he's actually being a good, serviceable, mid-tier quarterback in the NFL, I'm happy for him. He's my number 15 after Carr anyway, so we have him pretty similar. I also wanted to put him higher, but just I couldn't find a way to just... You know what? I could probably swap him with Derek Carr, put him at 14. That's probably...
probably the safe swap.
Yeah, the more... I'm actually going to do that. I will put Jared Goff ahead of Derek Carr, reevaluating the list.
No problem. At number 15, I got a guy like Daniel Jones. Coming in, having a season where he threw for 3,200 yards, 15 touchdowns, 5 picks, but 708 on the ground and 7 touchdowns in the ground. This is another guy who doesn't have an elite wide receiver, but he did throw for a lot more yards than he did in his previous 3-4 seasons, I believe. I think he's been in the league for 5 years. I could be wrong on that. Daniel Hackett comes in.
Brian Daboll.
My God, I'm thinking the wrong coach. Brian Daboll comes in, changes the offense, and Daniel Jones just got confidence. Obviously, these stats are a little high because of 2 games. One game against Minnesota, where he threw for 400 yards, I believe. It was absolutely crazy, but I mean, he got his contract. I do think he's a mid quarterback. I don't think he's great by any stretch of the word. I just think he's there and he could do the job. But this New York Giants team needs to supply him with weapons. They added Darren Waller in the offseason, which is, I think, a great value pick right there. Give him a little tight end for support over the top. Maybe the receivers like Wanda Robinson take a step forward and become even better. We shall see. I like Daniel Jones at 15.
You're on Daniel Jones. I don't have him now anyway, so I'll talk about him more once we get to him. For me, at 16, I got Tua Tagovailoa. I feel like when I was making the list, I feel like I put him low, but I don't know, with the injuries and stuff and staying on, it's a big question mark. And a lot of his success to start off early in the season was due to Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle's just greatness and them being able to make plays for their quarterbacks and on bad balls. So I think Tua at 16. There's definitely room for him to grow here. I think he could be higher. I feel like he should be definitely
hopefully
higher.
He stays healthy.
Yeah, see, we got him here on the set, so hopefully him being here is going to help out his production. Yeah.
At number 16, I got Deshaun Watson. I know you had him higher than me. I did not like that last season. It was, I think, pathetic on his part. That just was horrible. And you pay this guy that much money. You want him to be elite coming right off the bat. There's absolutely no excuse. Guy's been resting for 2 years. He should have been better than that. I mean, I hope he replicates what he did in Houston. Time will tell. We shall see. Maybe the court cases are getting to him. Who knows? But yeah, I have him here at number 16.
For me, at 17, I got Justin Fields. This is definitely the guy out of anyone on this list that I think could definitely drop in. He could jump into a top 10 depending on the season he has. People give him a really hard time with his accuracy issues and just throwing in general. I think now that he's got DJ Moore, he's got Darnell Mooney back, Chase Claypool, plus they drafted an offensive lineman, Darnell Wright. So I think it's definitely gonna. This is his time now for Justin Fields. He really has to show that he is one of those guys, and why Chicago shouldn't give up on him and draft another quarterback.
At number 17, I got Russell Wilson. I was looking at this guy in depth, and I was really considering where to place him. And if you look at the numbers last season, threw for 3,500 yards, 16 touchdowns, 11 picks. That ratio is horrible. He hit 277 on the ground and 3 touchdowns. It's not great, but it is Russell Wilson. I do think he's going to have a bounce back here. He's got Sean Payton right now as his head coach. If anyone can get him out of this rut, it's definitely him. And I hope he gets out of it. I do like Russell Wilson. It's just he's been on the down in the past few seasons. So we shall see if he can bounce back. I hope he does. They're paying him also a lot of money. So hope for Denver he does better. But yeah, we shall see. I want to do like 3 in a row now just because we're getting towards the end.
Yeah, just on Russell Wilson, man. The last year was so bad.
It was bad.
That I can't. No. He's very low for me. Like really.
No problem.
Really low. So yeah, you want to do what, 3 or 5?
I don't know. Let's go to 20. I got 18, 19, 20 ready.
Okay, for me, mine is Daniel Jones at 18. 19, I got Brock Purdy. At number 20, I got Bryce Young.
You put Purdy at 19. Fuck. Okay.
Yeah, it's because like a guy like Daniel Jones now is making $40 million. He did a lot of stuff this season. It's like.
Yeah,
all the guys ahead of him are like established names, and I feel like Brock Purdy will be established like soon after this year, but like he isn't just yet. So he'll definitely be higher coming into like next year if he does play, like does start. But yeah, for now I got him on 19. Yours?
I got Bryce, Tua, and Kyler.
Damn, Kyler at 20.
I got Kyler at 20.
For Kyler though, like
I don't think he's playing this year.
No, but that's not even the point. Like Kyler. Just forget about the injury and whatever. There's no way you got Kyler Murray at 20. There's no way you think
2,300 yards, 14 touchdowns, 7 picks.
Yeah, but look at the team he had around him for most of the season. Like he didn't have DeAndre Hopkins missed the first 6, so he basically didn't have
I understand.
He had the Lamar situation where he's throwing to Hollywood Brown was his only like option.
I understand, but still, at the end of the day, look at Trevor Lawrence's team. Wasn't too great. Elite quarterbacks make it happen with what they got. Look at Pat Mahomes.
20.
Look at Pat Mahomes.
Russell Wilson off the season he had over Kyler Murray.
I would take my chance with Russell Wilson over Kyler Murray, yeah.
Nah, I disagree heavily with that.
And 2 and 19, just the injury questions. I hope he can stay healthy and potentially have a breakout season. Bryce Young at 18, I estimated him going 3,500 yards, 35 touchdowns, 20 picks.
35 TDs. That's.
I think he's gonna be excited. He's gonna be slinging the rock, but he's gonna also make a lot of mistakes. Throwing 20 picks is a lot. But yeah, excited to see what he does. I hope for Carolina he can be great. They're predicting him to be the next Cam Newton. I mean, did you see him on OTAs? How small he looked.
That's what I was gonna say. Cam Newton. He's definitely the opposite of Cam Newton. On the size.
So small.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. And then Kyler at 20, I don't know. There's something about Kyler I don't like about him. I don't like his attitude. I don't like the way he plays.
Even that, I feel like the media paints a bad picture on the guy, gives him a bad rap.
I don't like Kyler.
Like the threat he is with his legs, I feel like is very he's like one of those guys that could take over a game. Like none of these other guys really that you have ahead of him, I don't think could take over a game like Kyler Murray can.
We shall see.
Well, we're not gonna see because he won't be playing this year.
At 21, I got Derek Carr. At 22, I got CJ, and 23, I got Kenny Pickett.
For me, I got Matt Stafford at 21, Russell Wilson at 22, and CJ Stroud at 23.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, Matt Stafford, I found was like a really hard one to. I feel like I haven't seen Matt Stafford play in a forever. I don't know.
It's been a long time. It's been a year. He's been off.
No, but when did he? Because he got injured in week 8.
He got injured about halfway through.
So it wasn't. I don't know. I find he's hard to judge because how much is it with the team he has around him, like Cooper Kupp, and how great he is, and how much is it that he's just because I never really believed in even when he was having the success when they won the Super Bowl. I never believed in Matt Stafford actually being that great. Like I feel like in Detroit everyone said, "Oh wow, he's free him from this team. They're so bad, whatever." I never felt he was like
Matt Stafford for me he's had a statistically great career, but he's never won with Detroit. He obviously went to LA and won with the team that was ready to win. They had pieces everywhere. They were just.
There's a reason why they have no future now.
Yeah, that's it. They traded everything for their first for their win, and they got it. And I mean, Matt Stafford was under the helm. I don't think he did anything crazy. I don't think he was the reason they won. I think it was more Cooper Kupp and that defense that led the charge.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I don't know, he's in the same boat as Kirk Cousins. Like, if Kirk Cousins wins the Super Bowl, all of a sudden he's a Hall of Famer. Just because, like, you know, like, I mean, I love Cousins. I think he's great, but realistically, and he's not a Hall of Famer. Even if he wins the Super Bowl, okay, maybe you can make it debate because of the stats, but, I mean, he's not, I don't know.
He's not that type of guy.
No, that's it. Like, he could be. He has the potential. He has the offense. He has the team. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm also not. What did you say Stafford yet? Or
I have him coming up.
Yeah, okay. I found you just out of these guys. I found he was hard to kind of rank, and then Russell Wilson as well on mine. 22. I don't know, off the year last year, man, I can't put him any higher than that. He was absolute garbage. Like he had games where he wasn't even throwing for like 120 yards, man.
It was ugly last year.
It was very ugly, man. Like, I remember just having him. Sometimes I picked him up in my fantasy team for 1 week. The guy put up 2 fantasy points.
I don't know why. Yeah, I did that mistake too.
The most disgusting thing I've ever seen in my life. Terrible.
Oh, he's gonna bounce back this week, boys.
It never happened. It never came with Nathaniel. Anyway, with Sean Payton, I think it will be like much, much, much better than with Nathaniel Hackett. But still, until I see it. Because even in the last few years, into like the last year or two in Seattle, you could see the decline. So I'm really afraid that this is Russell Wilson's level right now.
Yeah, no, it very well could be. I have him ranked high just because I loved what he did in the past, and I believe in Sean Payton turning it around. It's just I can see why you have him ranked so low. I don't disagree with it. But yeah, number 23, I got a guy like Kenny Pickett. What do you think about Kenny Pickett this year? I think honestly,
another guy that like I don't really. There's not much to really.
I don't like him that much, but I do like it is also it was his first year in the league. He didn't have an O-line. It was pathetic. They added pieces now, so maybe he can see the field a little bit better. He had 2,400 yards, 7 touchdowns, 9 picks. That's a horrible ratio. 237 on the ground and 3 touchdowns. He's an underrated rusher. He's got the mobility. It's just, I don't know. I don't love him. I do think he's going to make a bit of a jump. I do think he will get better this season. It's just, I don't know if he's going to make a jump to crack like top 15.
I just think he had no business being a first round pick, to be honest. You see the guys, like especially in that draft with how late those QBs ended up going, like Ritter and Howell and all that.
Yeah.
That's like, I don't know. I just think Pittsburgh had a good draft this year, finally. But I think like in the past, like even like with a guy like Najee in the first round, I feel like they made a lot of questionable first rounders in the last few years.
I agree. But
I just think he's a bottom end quarterback. Like I think this is kind of his. I don't see like a real big upside with Kenny Pickett. I think what he is now is really the type of quarterback he is.
I mean, it was the first time the Steelers had a new GM in I don't know how long, and he had a phenomenal draft. Yeah. So happy for that. But anyways, moving on. 24, I got Matt Stafford. 25, I got Jimmy G. And 26, I got Jordan Love.
Yeah, for me, I got 24, I got Trey Lance. 25, I got Jimmy G. And 26, I got Kenny Pickett.
Okay, yeah.
Like Trey Lance, another guy I found was like hard to like rank him because he's only played like 3 games. And in those games, he looked a bit rough.
Yeah.
One of those games was in like literally a flood.
Yeah, that was against Chicago, I think.
Hopefully this year he gets his chance to prove himself. Just like, it's...
Give the kid a chance.
Even at 24, I feel like I might be a bit generous putting him there, like over a guy like Jimmy G, who's been there, done that, been to a Super Bowl. But yeah, as a guy who's had to watch Jimmy G the last 5 years, man, I'm happy I don't have to see him on my team this year.
No, that's it. And then Jordan Love on my end, I don't think the Packers are going to be good this year. Yeah. I don't see Jordan Love being the answer. People are saying he looks great, but we shall see. I mean, he's been riding the bench for 4 years. For what reason?
But in the games that Jordan Love did play, though, where he did come in, he looked very, like, he looked
composed.
Very good.
He looked composed.
He looked good. I somehow have him lower than you, but I just have him low because, like...
we don't know what to expect.
Exactly. It's still very early. He hasn't played much.
Anyways, moving on. 27th, I got the combination of Ryan Tannehill and Will Levis. Whoever gets the rock there. 28, I got Baker Mayfield. And 29, I got Desmond Ridder.
For me, I got 27 Jordan Love, 28 Mac Jones, and 29 Anthony Richardson. Again, these are all guys that, like, besides Mac Jones, are very inexperienced. Mac Jones, I'm done on Mac Jones. I think Bailey Zappi is probably a better QB than him. I just think New England can do better. And yeah, I got him. He's one of the worst starting quarterbacks in the league, in my opinion.
I can't disagree. I have him ranked 31st. But anyways, I want to speak a little bit about Will Levis. Unfortunately, he didn't go in the first round like he thought he would. Went second round to Tennessee. It's just I feel really bad for this guy. He's got absolutely nothing on that team other than Derrick Henry. His O-line is horrible. His receiving core is horrible other than maybe Traylon Burks. And his defense is absolutely pathetic.
Nah, they got some pieces. That's the thing with Tennessee. They're not a good team, but they got pieces here and there.
They got pieces. I just don't think Will Levis is going to do a year one. And unfortunate for the guy. I wish him nothing but the best. It's just, I don't know. Baker Mayfield at the 28th. I like him a lot this year. I think he's going to be okay. He will show us why he was the first overall pick, but I don't think he's going to be elite.
I don't know about showing why he was the first overall pick. I think
I don't know. I liked him to do towards the end with the Rams when he did that little stint. I like that a lot. It's just we'll see what Baker. I hope he turns it around. I mean,
I think that run definitely got him another contract. I think that definitely played into another contract.
That helped. And Desmond Ridder at 29. I mean, I don't really know what to expect with him, so we'll see how it is.
Yeah, Desmond Ridder isn't even on my top 32. For me, at 30, I got Ryan Tannehill, 31, Jacoby Brissett, and number 32, the guy you just mentioned, Baker Mayfield.
I got Sam Howell at 30 for the Commanders. I mean, I don't know what to expect of this guy. I got Mac Jones at 31, and the worst quarterback I have is Justin Fields.
Get out of here.
I think Justin Fields cannot throw the football.
There's no.
I'm not kidding.
You're building yourself in as a Justin Fields. I didn't realize you didn't say his name. There's no way you got Mac Jones ahead of Justin Fields.
To God, think Justin Fields is a bust. Like, maybe I'm biased. You can call me biased. I don't like Justin Fields at all. He's inaccurate.
Yeah, there's not liking him.
He cannot throw the ball. Now that teams know he rushes, he will not do anything this season. They added DJ Moore for what? He's gonna be a bust.
There's no way, bro. 32.
I think Justin Fields is the worst quarterback in the league. I'm not even kidding. If you're talking about a quarterback who can throw the football, he can't.
Anyway, Anthony Richardson can.
We'll see.
Exactly, but we haven't seen it even in the college level. It hasn't been like.
Yeah, but the difference is Anthony Richardson, even in college, didn't have a receiver.
And what Justin Fields has.
No.
Justin Fields in college was throwing the ball like pretty decent with Ohio State.
We shall see. It's just Ohio State quarterbacks don't mix well with Chicago. That's for sure.
Who's the other option?
Mitch. Was it Mitch? I think it was Mitch.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure where Mitch
Trubisky. I think he went to. Let me just double check this.
Anyway, while you check, I'll get into my guys. For me, Ryan Tannehill, I think he's still like a serviceable quarterback. I think he's gonna start off the season. I don't think Levis is really gonna get a shot right away. Then 31, Jacoby Brissett. Well, you didn't have him on your list. I thought last year with the Browns when he was filling in for Watson, I think he was very good. Like, okay, I'll calm down, very good, but he was like pretty serviceable and solid. I think he was better than Watson was all of last year. And at 32, Baker. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Baker Mayfield. I think his time is coming to an end soon in the NFL. If he doesn't make this work in Tampa, I think he might be on his way out of the league. So to me, he is the worst out of the starters.
Yeah, I'm just getting the Ohio State quarterback list just to show you how great and elite these quarterbacks are.
Did Mitch Trubisky go to Ohio State?
He went to. Well, he got drafted to Chicago. That was my mistake. He went to. I can't remember.
I didn't think.
C.J. Stroud. I don't know. Justin Fields, Dwayne Haskins, J.T. Barrett.
Yeah, not great names.
J.T. Barrett again, Braxton Miller, Joe Bosserman, Terrell Pryor.
A bunch of nobodies.
There's never been a good quarterback from Ohio State, and I don't think Fields is going to break the mold. Especially that he went to Chicago. Chicago does not know how to mold a quarterback to save their lives. I think they're going to absolutely killed him. I don't think he's going to be great.
I'm actually shocked that I had him at 32.
No,
I had him at 17. I thought I was lowballing him there just because I really like Justin Fields, and especially all the stuff he's done for you in Madden. The guy brought you a Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's Madden. That's a game. This is real life. I just don't think he's good.
I could see where your thoughts are coming from, but 32 I think is just blatant.
Hey, you can call it me being a hater. I don't mind. That's just I don't believe in Fields. That's all it is.
I don't know. I think that's a bit rough. But anyway, I hope you guys liked our list, our top 32.
Next week, rankings.
We'll probably be bringing you the wide receiver list or a mock draft. So that will probably be the next episode. I hope you liked it. Leave a like, comment, and we'll see you guys next week.
Don't forget to subscribe to our TikToks and Twitter. It's going to be down below in the description box.
BGF Pod.
BGF Pod. Anyways, we'll compare the list at the end of the season, see how we rank, see who's more accurate. That'd be kind of fun. Mm-hmm. But yeah, have a good one, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.